Welcome back. It's a one-story video today and the timestamps are in the description box. So let's get started. Opie writes, "This is horrible. I'm furious right now, but I'm also depressed as hell. I know what I have to do. It's just killing me that I have to do it. It's fresh and it hurts a lot. My wife didn't come home last night. She went out with a couple of girlfriends, which is pretty normal for her. She's normally back around 2 a.m. on these nights, so I waited up. Around 2:30, I called to check in. She answered and I could hear people in the background. She told me they went to a party, but were leaving in a couple of minutes. She wasn't home by 3, so I text. It delivered, but no reply. Around 4 a.m. I called again. It rang a couple of times before she sent me to voicemail. My wife finally came stumbling through the door at 6:47 a.m. this morning. I know the exact time because I was worried. She was wearing a dress she didn't leave the house in, with mesh leggings I've never seen either. The leggings had clearly been torn and her makeup was smudged. My heart sank when I saw her. My immediate worry was that she had been assaulted. She only shook her head no when I asked her that. I asked her what she had been doing then. She only said that I knew what she had been doing, and that kind of confirmed what the voice in the back of my head had been screaming since she walked in. My wife cheated on me last night. I asked her who it was. She shrugged almost casually and said it was somebody she met at the club. She went back to his house and hooked up with him, then Ubered home. She then said she didn't want to fight and just wanted to sleep, so that's what she did. She's still sleeping now and didn't even take a shower before passing out. Suffice to say, our relationship is over. We don't have any kids and we rent, so it shouldn't be an extremely complicated process. I keep trying to reason myself out of it, pretending there might be something to salvage here. I've always maintained that cheating would be a red line for me though. I think I need to stick to that now." Let's get a couple of comments with replies from OP and then we get the first of OP's updates. "Damn man, sounds like she wanted you to catch her. Like this is not the first time." OP replies, "That thought has crossed my mind too. How casual she was about it doesn't match with the fact that she came home in clothes I've literally never seen her in." Someone else comments, "If cheating is your deal breaker, and it's a totally reasonable one, the deal has been broken. When she wakes up, she's going to give you the whole song and dance that she was drunk, that she loves you, etc., etc. But the truth is, she broke your trust and your heart and your vows. Stick to your guns and leave the woman who doesn't respect you enough to stay faithful." OP replies, "Thank you. I don't know why it helps to hear it from another person, but it really does. I honestly don't know that I want to hear her out right now. It's not like I'm going to believe anything she tells me anyway." And here's the first of OP's updates. "All right, things have happened. I am no longer at home. I left. I wasn't able to get the day off work today though, so I'm writing this on my lunch now. It's been a struggle keeping myself together today, honestly. I've had to sneak off to the bathroom twice to cry. Crap's rough, dude. I'll post something more detailed later on because holy effing crap, there's a lot. I'm exhausted. I've only slept about 4 hours total since this all happened. Also, to the woman who felt compelled to send me a topless picture, thanks, but also no thanks. My heart just isn't in that sort of thing right now." Okay, OP, I have to say, it makes me so sad also that you're saying you've hardly slept at all and your wife is sleeping as though nothing happened. She literally hasn't lost sleep over this. And also that you had to go to work and put on a brave face when inside you're just falling apart. I think all of us, or definitely most of us, have been in that kind of a situation where something very upsetting has happened in our lives and we have to put on a brave face around people and pretend everything is okay until we can finally just go home and deal with the problem. Okay, so let's get to OP's update and see how he dealt with this problem. "Me again, folks. I'm sorry I didn't get around to this sooner. I wasn't able to get the day off work yesterday because my boss kind of sucks. I was a complete mess at work yesterday though, so I was allowed to take the rest of the week as vacation, thankfully. I think I went through all of the stages of grief while my soon-to-be ex was sleeping. I wasn't expecting my post to get any attention at all. I just figured I needed to try to talk to someone about it because I was not in a good headspace. I made the post in the morning, and by noon she was still gonked out in the bedroom. I'd processed things a bit more, and I had a rough plan in my head that I was starting to set in motion. I made a short list of questions I wanted answers to, gathered up all my important documents, laptop, etc. Then I went into the bedroom and started packing myself a suitcase. I know a lot of folks wanted me to kick her out. I did consider it, but honestly, I'm not overly attached to this place. We just rent. And I'm in a lucky enough situation to be able to say that paying half the rent for a few months isn't going to financially end me. It'll sting a little bit, I won't lie, but I'll make it. And I feel like being around this place is only going to remind me of her anyway. I need to look forward, not back. She ended up waking up about halfway through me packing my suitcase. There was momentary confusion as she looked around the room. Then she just started bawling. Maybe this is awful of me, but I didn't bother comforting her. I told her I had the screenshots of her Uber and text messages from her phone, and that, plus a confirmation, was enough that things between us were completely done. She didn't answer me, and just cried louder. I debated trying to continue the conversation, but I decided to just pack the rest of my suitcase and head back out to the living room until she came out. When she finally left the bedroom, she sat next to me on the couch and asked me if we could talk things through. I told her as calmly as possible that wasn't how things were going to work. I was going to ask questions. I wanted honest answers. She told me she'd be honest, so I proceeded. My voice was shaking the entire time. It was taking me everything to hold it together, but I kept going. Was this the first time she had cheated? She started crying before she answered that, then told me no. She had cheated on me multiple times over the course of our relationship. It was, and I'm going to use her words exactly here, quote, just sex, a way for me to let off steam. None of it ever meant anything, unquote. I wrote a comment shortly after making my post that all the love couldn't just fade away in one swoop. Well, it can. It hit me right then that I wasn't dealing with my wife. The person I was married to literally wasn't in the room. This was someone different. She refused to tell me exactly how many times she had cheated, just more than last night. Had she used protection? No hesitation from her before she nodded her head emphatically. She seemed surprised I'd even ask that. I'm still going to get tested just to be safe. I did some research into timing, and I'm going to look after it. Were her friends also cheating on their spouses? Yes and no. I tried to get her to tell me which of her friends were cheating so I could get in contact with their spouses. She probably should have, because her refusal led me to messaging pretty much the romantic partner of every one of her girlfriends I could find on social media. There are a couple I don't know or couldn't find, but I did my part. Why did she do it? This was the answer that gutted me the most. I'm going to use her exact words again. Quote, I need to have sexual variety, unquote. I told her that it's not like our sex life is dull. She clarified, quote, it's not the same as something new, unquote. I didn't even have a response to that one. I had expected something about me working too much or not supporting her emotionally. Nope. She just screwed other guys because she felt like it and wanted to have some fun. When I didn't respond, she started asking me about counseling and therapy. I reiterated that our relationship was over. I'd be leaving. What she did next disgusted me. My ex actually tried to have sex with me. She put her hands on me and started trying to take off my clothes. I felt like I wanted to vomit and pushed her away after a couple of seconds. She just kept telling me that she would figure out a way to fix it, that we would work through it together. I told her that there was no way, and she started bawling again. She went to the bathroom and locked herself inside. I was just sick of everything at that point. I called her mother and told her what was going on. The full story too. The cheating, the questions I had asked, and the fact I was leaving. I've always had a good relationship with my ex's parents. They both decided to drive to town, which is about an hour for them. Once I knew someone was on the way, I just grabbed my things and left. Her water works in the bathroom, which is annoying me because it felt hollow to me, especially given the answers to my questions. I ended up packing another bag before I left and took all the things that I could think of that I felt sentimental attachment to with me. I found a parking lot and sat in my car until I was able to get in contact with a buddy for a place to crash. I tried to take a nap, but I was running on way too much adrenaline. I knew when her parents had made it to the apartment because she started calling me. When I didn't answer those, she started texting me. She had gone from sad and crying to furious. Apparently, I'm a, quote, effing piece of crap, unquote, for telling her mom everything. Whoops, I'm not sorry. I've received roughly 100 texts from her since leaving. They range from name-calling all the way to begging me to come back, to sending me pictures of the food she ate for some reason. I haven't responded to any of them. I feel like I said my piece before leaving. So that's where I'm at now. We didn't have joint finances, so that part was easy. I cancelled all the subscriptions that go to my credit card just to be sure, and changed all my important passwords. I'm crashing on a friend's couch for the next bit, but I've got some feelers out to some short-term rental places until I can find something more permanent. I've got feelers out for a divorce attorney too. A co-worker of mine had a recommendation, so barring something better, I'll probably go with them. I also wanted to say that I was shocked how supportive everyone was, and thank you for that, truly from the bottom of my heart. It isn't easy for me to talk about emotional things with people close to me. This was an invaluable venting place for me. Thank you all so much. Let's get some comments with replies from OP. Glad you had the strength to get out of there and not put yourself through more of your ex's BS. I find it funny that she started crying now. Seems like a complete flip from how heartless and cold she was to you when she first came home. Good riddance and good luck to your future, OP. And OP replies, I honestly don't know if she was crying because I was leaving or just because she was caught and the little universe she had built for herself was crumbling. I'd like to think she cared I was leaving on some level, but her response to the whole thing does make me question. I'm looking into therapy, but as weird as it sounds, I want the anger to fuel me a little longer. Someone else asks, did she give you a reason for why she didn't try to hide it this time? Just morbid curiosity. OP replies, that was part of the quote, why did you cheat, unquote, discussion. No, I didn't get an answer from her. When I asked about the change of clothes, she claimed that she borrowed them from a friend who wanted to match with her. I asked why pick now to stop hiding it. The only reply she gave was that she got caught up in things that night. I know there's more to it that she's not telling me. I just don't care to go digging for it right now. And somebody else asks, you're still going to pay the rent? WTF? OP replies, ultimately, my plan is to fulfill whatever financial obligations the lawyer I'm hiring tells me I have to. In the immediate future, I plan to pay my half of the November rent while I sort things out with her and our landlord. And a final comment. Did you receive a response from any of the other partners you notified? OP replies, some yes, some no. I've got the proof of my ex to share with them if it's asked for. I know how they followed up isn't my business, but I do hope that they take it seriously. Well, OP, I think you did the right thing. The best thing for you was to pack your bags and to leave. You know, life can be a bit complicated and it's easy to tell people just leave a spouse that has cheated because sometimes there's a lot more going on than that. People have established lives together, they have children, and sometimes it's worth it to try and work things out and go to therapy, but this isn't one of those cases. Even if you had children together, OP, I would still be saying run. Your soon-to-be ex-wife clearly wants an open relationship, but she never discussed that with you. The two of you never agreed to that. She betrayed you, she went behind your back, and she did it heaven knows how many times. So Opie, best of luck to you. I'm glad you're getting out of it. I know it hurts. It's going to get better. Well, that's it for now. Leave your comments about this story. Give it a thumbs up. If you did enjoy it, consider subscribing, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you for listening.